Nicole Hockabrook, Erin Mims, Maya Nettis, Tiona Powers, and Amber Smiley. Their advisor is Carla McDonald. And now the cheerleaders from Willard: Emily Carl, Vivian Day, Kara Lesage, Amy Hutchinson, Melissa Papp, Shauna Ballard, Megan Herner. Their advisor is Hope Miller. The assistant advisors are Shelley Grundys and Susan Moore. And now let's introduce the non-starting players alternating between schools, starting with Warrensville Heights. For Warrensville Heights, number 10, Calvin Emerson. For Willard, number 5, Gabe Sanders. For Warrensville Heights, number 12, Jonathan Sutherland. For Willard, number 20, Matt Schaefer. For Warrensville Heights, number 14, DeLorean White. For Willard, number 22, Pete Stevens. For the Tigers, number 22, Darnell James. For Willard, number 23, Eric Barrison. For Warrensville Heights, number 23, Joe Hollyfield. For the Flashes, number 40, Josh Patterson. For Warrensville Heights, number 30, Roderick Wilson. For Willard, number 42, Tyler Buss. For Warrensville Heights, number 32, Tony Worrell. For Willard, number 44, Brett Beebe. For Warrensville Heights, number 33, Jason Harris. And also for the Tigers, number 34, Jamal Cummings. And now let's introduce the starting lineups, beginning with Warrensville Heights and alternating between schools. Starting at guard for the Tigers will be a 5'10" senior, number 11, J.K. Brooks. For Willard, at point guard will be a 5'7" junior, number 15, Dan Lord. For Warrensville Heights, at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 24, Brian Swift. For the Flashes, at wing will be a 6'1" sophomore, number 11, Nick Dial. For Warrensville Heights, at forward, a 6'4" sophomore, number 15, Demetrius Johnson. For the Flashes, at wing, a 6'1" sophomore, number 12, J.J. Deeks. For Warrensville Heights, at forward, a 6'1" senior, number 20, Richard Yancey. At post for the Flashes will be a 6'2" sophomore, number 10, Nick Strantz. At center for Warrensville Heights, a 6'7" senior, number 21, Lee Johnson. And at post for the Flashes, a 6'6" senior, number 30, Derek Fay.
24-1, Willard 24-1. We mentioned Willard's lost final game of the regular season to Shelby in overtime, 76-66, and Warrensville Heights only lost coming in the league to Bedford, 67-52. This is a Heights team that, as Roman mentioned, averaged in the mid-80s. They've been above 96 times this year. They've been above 100 4 times, and only 3 times all year where they held below 70, and the lowest was last weekend. A 60-50 win over Canton South. So ready to go. Fay will jump it up for Willard, and it's going to be Lee Johnson for Heights, and Warrensville Heights wins the tip and has the basketball out top with Brian Swift. Swift puts it between the legs, penetrates, and loses it on the way up, and it turned it over because it's recovered by J.J. Ditz in the lane. Ditz off to Lohr. Lohr into the forecourt for Willard as they go right to left. On the left side, flips it to Ditz, out top, around a screen, firing a three, is Dials, and it's right there. Outside, he's got unlimited range, and he makes it 3-0.
Not much conscience there. Fired up.
Willard opens up in a 2-3 zone. On the left side, Demetrius Johnson goes to the baseline, drops it down low, and it's stolen away by Dials. Dials lead pass into the forecourt to Lohr, up the left sideline. Cross-court right, Fay from deep outside. Banged it off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound kicked outside, controlled by Warrensville Heights. Brooks up the left sideline to the forecourt, pulling up for a deep three that hit nothing but the glass. Ricochets outside to Swift, who penetrates. His behind-the-back pass ricochets off Ditz and goes back outside. Swift penetrates again, right down the lane. Drop pass inside, intended for Johnson, got away, and stolen by Dials. Dials full court, down to Lohr, bounce pass inside, wide open is Ditz, and he makes it 5-0 Willard as they take advantage of numbers.
Great start for the Flashes. Good job of looking down the floor to see if there's opportunities.
Out top is Brooks. Brooks and Swift against the zone, and Brooks fires a long three that again hits nothing but the board. Might catch the left side of the rim. It was from about 23 feet, but Warrensville Heights will keep it on the inbounds, and it'll be Swift to trigger.
Twice they've tried deep threes, and both times they've gotten the rebound.
Not a lot of time to set up the defense probably in this one, at least on this end of the floor, as Swift fires a three right side. No good. Fay the rebound. He averages 10.5 of those per game. Off the Dials. Dials into the forecourt to the penetration, the line, the lane, throws it up inside with traffic and gets fouled. He went right at Lee Johnson. And Dials to the foul line, and that's a place that he pretty much has set up shop all season. An amazing number of free throw attempts for the Willard point guard.
Yeah, 187 attempts is amazing enough. Also, the fact that he's made 164 of them is pretty impressive, too.
Yeah, 87%. So nearly automatic when he gets there, and the first one is up and good. And Willard bolts out to a 6-0 lead. 6:21 to play here in the opening quarter.
Warrensville Heights 0 of 3 from the field. All three have been three-point attempts.
Dials second, like the first, is right there. So 7-0 Flashes. And here comes Warrensville Heights. They'll flip it off to Brian Swift. Swift, who won a state championship just 2 years ago, playing for Bedford Chanel. Out top, Willard now trapping out of the zone. Swift high on the right side to Brooks. Baseline down, he goes to Yancey, penetrates. Good bounce pass inside, but unable to follow it up. Rebound shot is good the second time by Demetrius Johnson, who followed up his own missed, and it's 7-2.
Demetrius Johnson, leading scorer on this team, doing a nice job on the offensive glass. That's already 3 offensive rebounds for Warrensville Heights.
Nick Strands, right side, Fay, gonna fire up a three from the wing, got it. We mentioned Fay at 6'6", will come outside. That's his 31st made three of the year.
Great start by Willard. I think they're shooting the ball very well to start the game at 3 of 4.
Out top, Yancey flips it off now to Brooks. Brooks high between the circles to Swift, and back to Brooks as they work the perimeter. Left sideline, Johnson's open. A little bit more patient against the zone. Whip pass down low, Swift got it inside. Brooks scored and is fouled. Great look by Brian Swift as Brooks was on the baseline, got the basket and the foul, and we'll get to the free throw line.
That foul's going to be on Fay as well, so a costly play for Willard.
So the first foul of the ball game on Willard goes on Fay. Line right, J.K. Brooks, 5'10" senior, comes in averaging 22 per game. His first 2, missed the free throw, and rebound controlled down low by Willard. Strands comes out of the pile with it. Willard will have to concentrate on the glass because outside of Fay, not an overly big team. Into the forecourt, Lohr, checked by Swift, flips it off to Dials. Dials gets a screen from Fay on the left wing, goes around into the foul line and is bumped and fouled. Hand checked by Richard Yancey. He'll pick up the whistle. So Yancey picks up his first and the second on Warrensville Heights.
Looks like Dials a very smart player. That's twice we've seen him draw a foul on the opponent just by making his move, but also making a little bit extra effort to get the foul call.
Inbounds to Fay, left wing three, off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound to Strands, back to Dials, deep three out top. This one's no good. And again, Strands checks down the rebound deep in the left corner. He gives it to Lohr, guarded by Swift between the circles. 4:50 first period, Willard up 10-4. Right side on the wing, Dials out top, Fay, another three. This one off the front of the rim, no good. And a rebound foul down low is gonna go on Willard. Over the top came J.J. Ditz to pick up his first whistle.
We have had a combined 13 shots in this game, 7 of them by Willard. 6 of those are three-pointers. Also 3 threes thrown up by the Tigers of Warrensville Heights, too.
Willard averages 18 three-point attempts per ball game. They shoot 34% through the Flashes outside the arc. Into the forecourt, Swift out top to Brooks. Puts it between his legs against the zone, penetrates, now backs it out to Swift near the top of the key. His penetration is shut off at the foul line. Left sideline, open Yancey. They reverse it out top again. Johnson, left wing, Swift, open for three. Right there, it's good. Brian Swift makes it 10-7 Willard. His first points of the ball game, and here comes Willard again. Out top with Dan Lohr. Lohr, 5'7" junior. Spins right by Swift, right sideline. Ditz penetrates, inside, down low. Kicks it on the left wing. Strantz is open for a 10-footer and makes it. First field goal for Nick Strantz, and it's 12-7, and here comes Heights. Into the forecourt, Swift out top. On the right side now to Johnson. Demetrius Johnson penetrates, jump stop, puts it up and hits. Tough kind of leaner for Johnson, and it's 12-9 Willard.
Drew a little contact on that one as well, but got no whistle and followed through with the made bucket.
Lower out top, right sideline, open there. Ditz closely guarded, spins right by Brooks to the foul line, kicks it right side. Whip pass inside, all alone is Lohr, and he missed the bunny. Got intimidated maybe by Johnson, put it up too high. And a whistle and a rebound and a timeout call. Lying on the floor is Nick Strantz. So Willard will have the basketball, and we'll take an early break. 3:27 in the opening period. Willard leads it by 3.
Looking forward to a very quick pace to start things off, and both teams haven't disappointed.
Inbounds pass down low. Getting free is Strantz, and he's fouled on the way up. Warrensville Heights was man-to-man underneath the hoop. Strantz just came off a screen and was wide open, and will get the first free throws of the ball game with 3:26 here in the quarter. A successful basketball season by these two teams. While we're here tonight in tournament action, congratulations comes from Mayball Ford of Orrville.
Which is very good for them.
And they're 4 of 4 here in the period as Strantz connects on his second. Swift the other way up top between the legs. Yo-yo dribble for Warrensville Heights. Flipped it to Yancey. Swift got it back now. Guarded by Eric Barrison, who's checked in. Just a freshman for Willard. Barrison out top in the zone. Penetration by Heights on the left baseline. Inside, whip pass down low. Good look from Johnson to Johnson. Demetrius to Lee. And a whistle and a foul called on Willard. Holding foul before Lee Johnson can get the shot up, and so Warrensville Heights will trigger.
Yeah, Lee Johnson looks to be a guy that maybe they can exploit.
Inbounds pass the lob for Johnson, no good. Swift got it back, and a little behind-the-back pass went right by his teammate J.K. Brooks and out of bounds. A little too much French pastry on that one, and the turnover for Heights goes back over to Willard.
Yeah, we talked about Lee Johnson might be a guy they can go to inside at 6'7". Really nobody can match up with him size-wise for Willard.
Dials to Barrison. Barrison out top, guarded by Swift. Between the circles with the left hand, spins top of the key. Still has the dribble, backing it out, closely guarded by Swift. Count is on. Dribbles around into the wing and puts up a shot and has it swatted right by his ear and out of bounds by Lee Johnson. Johnson took that one about 4 rows deep. Barrison probably a little anxious, just a freshman at 6 feet. Averages nearly 5 a game this year for Willard, getting his first action. Inbounds the dial, back to Barrison on the wing now. Out top, he comes with the pass to Strantz. 2.5 minutes first quarter. Willard the ball in a 5-point lead. Back to Barrison. He gives it Strantz. Strantz penetrates. Drop pass down low. Fay got open and missed the bunny inside. Fay got it back, put it up, missed it again. And the rebound kicked out of bounds. Touch last, they're going to say, by Willard. And a foul is also going to be called on Willard. And it might be on Fay.
I think it might be just very aggressive chasing the rebound. And anytime you miss one in that close, you get a little frustrated and try to get it back.
A tough foul on Fay because that's his second foul here in the first period. And as we mentioned, the only really size on the floor, plus he's a first-team All-Ohioan. Will stay on the floor right now as here comes Warrensville Heights. Brooks into the left corner to Johnson. Covered up in that zone. Back to Brooks on the left wing. J.K. Brooks still holding it, the triple threat possession. Baseline Yancey puts up the runner and scores. Richard Yancey knocks it home. His first 2 points, and it's 14-11 Willard. Under 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Near the timeline, Dials avoids the trap and flips it to Strantz, high on the left side. Strantz with a basketball, checked there by Demetrius Johnson, gives it off to Fay. Fay top of the key, right side Dials. Dials puts it on the floor, penetrates right down the lane, puts it up, back of the rim, too hard, missed it. Rebound hits the deck and is loose, and it goes out of bounds off of Heights. unable to control is Yancey, so Willard will keep it on the baseline right of their basket.
That time, just a loose ball, and Willard has done a nice job having quick hands inside, get a loose ball. And now Derek Fay will check out of the game.
Gabe Sanders checks in, gets the inbounds pass off to Ditz, and he hands to Dials on the right wing. Yancey closely guards him. Dials puts it on the floor, penetrates to the right elbow, gets knocked down and throws it away, no foul call. The steal by Swift ahead of the pack, has Barrison to beat, misses the layup, but the follow was there by Demetrius Johnson, who was trailing the play, and Johnson makes it 14-13 Willard.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact on that steal, but the officials letting him play at this point in the game.
Out top is Dials between the circles, backing Yancey down the floor. High on the left side now, Strantz. Strantz penetrates to the foul line, drops off to Sanders on the right wing. Sanders kind of pivots, now puts it on the floor and travels. Turnover on Willard, their second. And with 57 seconds to go in the period, Warrensville Heights will have it back, down 1.
Yeah, they didn't have any turnovers until just a couple of moments ago after the steal earlier that Warrensville Heights contributed into 2. Heights has now hit on 6 of their last 7 shots. They missed their first 4, but have been hot since.
Willard stays in that zone. Left sideline open there, Yancey to Swift. On the right to Brooks. Brooks kind of crouched down, looking at that zone, puts it on the floor, penetrates, drop baseline to Demetrius Johnson. Inside Yancey, very good passing. And Richard Yancey scores, and Heights now leads it by 1 with 35 seconds in the period. Dials comes to the full court, checked by Yancey. Dials to the left wing, high, bounces top of the key to Strantz, double team, splits it to the foul line, right side, gives it up there. Strantz looking back to Dials, see if Willard holds for 1. Dials comes and gets it, standing between the circles, looking over at the referee to see if the count's on. Guarded by Yancey in a 1-4 set. Clock down to 10 to 9. Dials with the basketball, dribbles, penetrates to the right wing, to the baseline, lays it up and good with a scoop shot on the right hand. Inbounds pass is knocked away by Dials, and he knocked it right off of Lee Johnson, who inbounded the basketball. And with 0.4 of a second to go, Willard will have it back. And Drew Fay quickly off a bench is going to come back in for maybe one quick shot here to end the first quarter.
Yeah, and Nick Dials seems to be the clock that makes this thing tick for Willard. Just an explosive, exciting player.
Dials looking to inbounds, looking for lob for Fay, but can't find him. Looking, now he just throws it out to Fay, who tries to fire up about a 3-pointer in the air, but it's well short as the horn sounds. So the end of 1 period here in Columbus. It's Willard 16, Warrensville Heights 15. Fay back to the bench with 2 fouls. See how Willard plays without him. Here they open up the second quarter. Dials out top, more of the scoring load going to have to fall upon him. Dials gets a screen, works his way to the right wing to Lower. 3-pointer is up, that's an air ball. Rebound controlled by Ditz, who's able to save it in for Willard. He flipped it into Sanders on the baseline left, dropped it to Lower. Little jump shot from the key, spins in and out. Sanders again the rebound, but dribbled it off his foot. Dives to the deck, the ball loose, and out of the pack comes Warrensville Heights, Demetrius Johnson. Johnson up the right sideline of the forecourt, left wing Swift. Penetration, scooped it down low to Yancey, who was fouled. So Warrensville Heights very quick passing on the move, and Richard Yancey's going to get a couple of free throws line right.
Yeah, Willard has not really been beaten yet in transition defense, but the fact is they're getting back, and Warrensville Heights is right on them and haven't had much time to set up the defense.
For tax-free bonds, municipal bonds, or stocks, semifinal earlier tonight. Yancey, a 6'1" senior, averages 12 per ball game and has half of that now. His 6 point gives Warrensville Heights a 1 point lead. They trap in the backcourt. Lohr back there for Willard. Needs some help, picked up the dribble. Front court with a pass to Ditz. Ditz penetrates in the foul line, left it for Dials. He whips it inside to Sanders. Pump fake, had the shot blocked. Rejected by Lee Johnson. Outlet pass into the forecourt. Knocked away from Brooks. Now it's loose on the deck on the left side of the key. Coming up with a basketball and a wild shot, Demetrius Johnson. Lee Johnson followed. Demetrius Johnson follows and scores. Well, Warrensville Heights is playing volleyball inside against the smaller Willard team, and shot is up and good for Demetrius Johnson, and he'll get 1 free throw line right to try and complete the 3-point play.
his
Yeah, great
second,
job on the offensive
six.
glass. So far, offensive
Demetrius
rebounds for
Johnson,
Warrensville
team
Heights. They have 6.
Free throw is up and good. Good start for Johnson. That's Demetrius. He has 9 early points. Willard now trails it by 4. Largest deficit for any ball club here. Into the forecourt. Lord gets a pass. Right wing Dials right to the basket. Had the shot blocked but was fouled. As we mentioned, Dials, even though he's 6'1", will pretty much go at anybody inside. That time he went right at Lee Johnson and picked up the whistle on Johnson, his second. And Dials back to the free throw line. He got 5 quick points, but has been kind of quiet since then. He has 7 right now.
Yeah, we talked about the fact that Warrensville Heights is not very deep, so Willard doing a nice job, at least Nick Dials, of trying to get them to go to the bench, and they're going to have to now as Lee Johnson picks up his second.
So Johnson leaves, and checking into the lineup for Heights is Rod Wilson. Wilson, a 6'5" sophomore. Warrensville Heights goes about 7 deep. Willard about the same. Dials' second free throw, like the first, is there. And it's 20-18 Warrensville Heights. A minute and a half into this second quarter. Out top is Brooks with Swift. Heights pretty much most of their points coming inside. They've been cold from the outside here in the first half of play. Left sideline, Johnson. That's Demetrius Johnson. Check there by Stevens. Penetrates, drops it down low. Great look inside. Shot put up off the back of the rim. No good by Brooks. Dials out of the pack with a rebound for Willard. Running into the full court between the circles. Penetrates to the foul line. Left wing, dropped it down low. Turning is Stevens. Put it up off the glass rim. Missed it. Sanders the rebound back up. He missed it. And rebound controlled by Heights. Demetrius Johnson on the run. 3-on-2. Bounce left side to Brooks, and he's fouled by Dials. So Dials saved the basket, but had to foul Brooks to do it. And a couple of free throws for J.K. Brooks. 6:08 to play here, second quarter.
Second personal, team foul number 7.
Need to rent a car for a day or a week? See.
J.K. Brooks shooting 2. For Willard, number 10, Nick Strauss replaces J.J. Dees.
Well, all of the second quarter and good portions of the first quarter as well. That's now 2 fouls on Dials as well, so they get some extra players into the game for Willard.
And Dials is going to leave the ball game right now, so Dials and Fay, 2 guys that average nearly 40 of Willard's 71 points, are on the bench. Critical stretch right now for the Flashes to try and stay close to Warrensville Heights. 21-18 currently. Brooks has 1 more. Shot is up and good. So Brooks has 4, and Warrensville Heights going to put on some pressure. In the backcourt, Lohr, guarded by Swift. Double team coming now with Brooks at the timeline. Lohr picked up the dribble. Left side to Stevens. Stevens on the wing, back to Lohr, cutting down to the middle. Drops it to Sanders, put it up over the rim too hard. Rebound controlled by Swift, and he's fouled. Well, Willard's had a lot of good looks inside on some passes and stickbacks, but unable to knock home the bunnies. And team foul. Willard already over the limit. They're 8, and so 1-and-1 time now for Warrensville Heights.
Yeah, and Willard has hit just 1 of their last 10 shots. Have really struggled from the field here lately. Got some rebounds inside on the offensive glass, but haven't been able to get anything to fall.
We'll see how long the Greg Nossaman keeps his 2 leading scorers on the bench here in the second quarter. Line right, 1-and-1 for Brian Swift. Shot is up, rattled around, no good, came out. I think it kind of surprised everyone in the lane. Finally rebounded by Gabe Sanders. He flipped it off to Lohr. The Willard folks trying to get their team motivated. Willard has but 1 basket here in the second quarter. 5:30 to play in the period. Lohr around the screen to the right side. Warrensville Heights trapping on the wing. Lohr picked up the dribble, dropped it down low. Stevens got free and missed the layup inside. Rebound controlled by Heights, and another foul. It's about the 4th trip in a row down the floor that Willard's had a point-blank shot, couldn't knock it down. And back the other end, another free throw opportunity. 1-and-1 for Willard, or for Warrensville Heights.
Yeah, Willard hit 3 of their first 4 shots, and they had 4 of their first 8, but they are now just 5 of 21. Have really, really cooled off, and that epitomizes it there when Stevens couldn't hit the little turnaround.
At the line, shooting 1-and-1.
So Swift with another 1-and-1. He just rattled one in and out a second ago. Shot is up and good. Swift, who I guess kind of grew up in the Warrensville Heights district and then transferred after his 8th grade year. As we mentioned, won a state title as a sophomore with Chanel. Looking to win one down the road at Heights this year. Second free throw was good. So the lead now up to 6, the biggest for Warrensville Heights, 24-18 with 5:25 to play second quarter. Lower guarded by Swift, left side of the forecourt high. Drops it to the wing, open there is Strantz. Strantz to the foul line, had it knocked away, went to his knees and got fouled. Reach-in foul on Warrensville Heights. They're going to get J.K. Brooks. But only the 15th foul on Heights, and on Brooks, just his first.
Yeah, nobody in real foul trouble except for Lee Johnson, who's on the bench with 2. So Warrensville Heights has been a little bit luckier in the foul department today.
Very, very quick hands for Heights. In the backcourt, Lohr comes and gets it. Swift meets him right away at the timeline. Lohr across the timeline with the left hand, spins back to the right, bounce to Sanders, high near the top of the key. Sanders looks left side, Stevens around the screen to get it on the wing. Stevens puts it on the floor out top, flips off to Strantz. Strantz the basketball, left side bounce. Turning there, Barrison. Barrison covered up, used the dribble, needs help, pivoting, and he threw it away. Stolen by Demetrius Johnson. Running into the forecourt, dropped it off to Swift. He laid it up and scored. Opportunity break for Warrensville Heights and a timeout Willard. 4:44 to play. Second period, Warrensville Heights leads it by 8.
30 seconds. Willard substitution. Number 30, Derek.
Here by Coach Nossum and the team starting to get away from him a little bit, and you wondered how long he would go without Fay and Dials in there. Well, we have our answer because they're both back on the floor right now.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Fay picked up his second foul in the first period, Dial early here in the second. Willard led this one 16-15 after 1. Swift bumping Lohr in the backcourt. Lohr goes down, counts on, gets up. Lohr now sprints by him, runs into the forecourt, has it knocked away from behind, but went right to Ditz. Right wing Fay, gonna pump up a 3, spins in and out, no good. He's been cold early. Rebound Demetrius Johnson on the run. Left side bounce down low to the basket, laid it up and good was Rod Wilson. First points for Wilson. Fay couldn't challenge it with 2 fouls. It is a 10-point Heights lead.
That's really the first time we've seen, one of the first times that we've seen Willard get beat deep.
Willard having problems getting the ball up the floor, and it's a 10-second call. Lohr once again, could not get by Brian Swift and picked up his dribble for the second straight time in the backcourt. And a turnover on Willard is their 5th.
See Nick Dials there, just a sophomore, yelling some encouragement, taking charge out there.
Right wing, a long 3 from Brooks. He missed that one. Rebound controlled by Willard. Inside, Heath Stevens with a board. Stevens off the Dial, double team. Front court pass, Lohr. Lohr running into the forecourt by Swift. Penetrates behind the back pass, threw it away. Stolen 3-on-1 break for Heights. Down low, Yancey puts it up and scores.
Goal by Richard Yancey.
Yancey makes it a 12-point lead for Warrensville Heights with 3:40 to play before the half. Lohr behind the back by Swift. Right side pass knocked away, stolen again. Swift leads it to Brooks. He puts it up and missed it, but was fouled. So Warrensville Heights in their pressure is just eating Willard up at this point. As Heights has pretty much taken apart Willard, and right now bad passing and tough to really practice against speed in practice. You know the quickness and the numbers there, but speed is something I don't think Willard has seen this year, and you would expect them to.
And now just the first foul on Lohr, but now 2 fouls on every player on the floor for Willard. Very important, I guess, for them that they don't pick up any more fouls here as we head toward halftime.
Brooks' free throws up and good. Having a good half is J.K. Brooks. He has 9. 5'10" senior will get 1 more. Brooks, line right, takes his time, fires it up and good. So he has 10, and it's a 32-18 lead. 3.5 minutes to play in the half. Willard trailing with the basketball. Dials, guarded by Yancey in the backcourt. Heights again sets up the half-court trap. Dials across the timeline. Triple team, needs help up the right sideline. Open there to the basket, strong as Ditz. He puts it up and scores, and is fouled. So J.J. Ditz right to the basket. Good body control to finish. Breaks a long run for Warrensville Heights. Dominating, and Willard finally gets just their second field goal here in the second quarter. And it's 32-20.
Yeah, that breaks a string of 8 straight missed shots. Now Willard 6 of 23 from the field. Free throw no good, but Fay grabs the rebound, puts it back up. Rim Glass missed it, gets the rebound, back up and scores. So a 4-point possession, 32-22, and here comes Heights quickly with Swift. To the foul line, penetrates, lays it up, missed it inside. Rebound controlled by Heath Stevens of Willard.
Outlet to Lohr. Lohr cross court, right wing, Dials right to the basket and got fouled. Brian Swift reached in and grabbed him on the way to the hoop. And Dials going to be able to get back to the free throw line and shoot 2 more. 1 second less than 3 minutes to play here first half.
Yeah, you can see that Derek Fay is very important to this team, but it's Nick Dials that they need out there. Just a different team when he's on the floor.
Dials, free throw up, front of the rim, glass, and it goes home. He's a perfect 5 of 5 from the line here in the first half of play. He'll get 1 more. Try and cut into a 9-point lead. Shot is up, and this one he missed, no good. Yancey the rebound for Heights. Right sideline, Swift into the forecourt to Brooks. Out to Swift. Left wing, Johnson gonna fire up the 3, short off the front of the rim, rebounded by Dials. Dials brings ahead himself by 1, by 2 Heights players. Left side, open on the wing, firing the 3 up front of the rim, no good. Lohr missed it. Rebound rolled right to Stevens inside, and he picked it up and scored. So Heath Stevens on the board, and Willard on a bit of a run has cut a lead of 14 down to 7.
I think the difference here is they stop being tentative on offense and attack the basket.
1-3-1 zone by Willard. Swift out top kind of slows it up for the moment for Warrensville Heights. Right sideline, Demetrius Johnson back to Swift, top of the key. Swift, the ball above his head, sort of looking at that 1-3-1. Left side to Brooks. Brooks looking, puts it on the floor, penetrates, dropped it off Johnson, down low Yancey, and swatted away on the block by Fay. Off the Dials, right sideline to the forecourt, pulls up for 3, rim no good, rebound controlled by Warrensville Heights, it's Johnson. Johnson on the run into the forecourt, whipped it down low, right through the hands of his teammate Brooks and out of bounds. I think someone might have got a piece of it before it got to Brooks, and that had a lot of smoke on it. Brooks couldn't control it.
That's one of those moments in basketball just makes you smile. If Nick Dials pulls up and hits that 3, this place would go crazy, just inches away, but the Crimson Flash is making a good run. That time Warrensville just in too much of a hurry to get down the floor.
In a backcourt, J.J. Ditz gives off to Dials. Clock at 1:45 before the half. Dials across the timeline, checked by Yancey. Warrensville Heights man-to-man looking to trap at the first opportunity. Dials spins by Yancey to the foul line. Penetration, puts it up with the left hand and is fouled. Once again, just drawing fouls, drawing traffic. We mentioned coming in, Dials free throw attempts, and he averages 7.5 free throws per ball game this year. An incredible number, and he's already been to the line 6 times here in the first half tonight.
Well, he's shown it that he is very good at picking up fouls on opposing players. Most of the time, the defense is retreating, trying to get out of his way a little bit, and he's still able to pick up the foul on him.
Dials' free throw is up and good. He's 6 for 7 from the line, has 11 points. 32-25, the Warrensville Heights lead. I would have to think Willard got to be happy to be within striking distance at this point, because they have not shot it well, under 30%. Drew Fay really has never got a chance to get going for them, and they're just sort of hanging around. Heights has pretty much controlled this half.
They've also done a very nice job from the foul line. They are now 9 of 10 from the stripe.
So Warrensville Heights lead has been cut to 5. Left side of the forecourt, Brooks. Brooks looking at that zone as we took the 1 minute, 30 seconds to play in the half. Right wing Swift gonna fire a 3 right there. 3-point shot for Brian Swift. Bumps the lead back to 8. 35-27 in the backcourt. Lohr being pressured into the forecourt. Comes Dials, left sideline, flips it right out of bounds. Nick Strands trying to catch it on the sideline, couldn't control it. The 8th turnover of the half on Willard, who comes in averaging just a dozen per game.
Yeah, they only had 2 in the first quarter. Really did a nice job in the first quarter of controlling the ball, but have had 6 here in the second.
Brooks has it for Warrensville Heights out top. 1:15 to play, and he'll just walk across the timeline and stand there. Willard back in the 1-3-1. Looks like they might be content to sit back in the zone over the final 60 seconds of this first half.
Head coach Greg Nossman of Willard taking a look down the line to see what head coach Dennis Chimes is thinking.
Just standing just across the timeline near the center of the floor. J.K. Brooks pretty much hanging on to it. Now he flips it over to Demetrius Johnson and has it back, and Heights looks like they might attack. Right wing to Swift. Swift double team, flipped it off to Johnson. Left side, Brooks penetrates baseline, puts it up on the run. Shot hit the front of the rim, no good. Rebound banked off the glass, follow up, no good. And Willard rebound. Out of the pack, Strands with 30 seconds. To Dials. Dials into the forecourt, right wing to Lohr. Lohr around a double team out hop, and he's fouled. Reach-in foul. It's 1-and-1 time. DeLorean White
Warrensville
out there with
Heights
Brooks
foul
trying
on
to
number
double
14,
team.
DeLorean White.
And White will pick up
His
the
first
personal. So
team
1-and-1
foul number 9.
opportunity for 5'7" junior Dan Lower.
And Lower seems to be a guy, when he gets the ball for Willard, it's like Warrensville Heights is smelling blood. They're double teaming him right away.
Dan
Lower not very big at 5'7",
shooting
tough
bonus.
to see over and throw over that double team. Lower, line left, looking for his first point tonight. Shot is up and good. Mayball Ford aboard. Bill congratulates all the teams in this year's state tournament for a job well done this season. Best of luck for Mayball Ford.
Willard substitution. Number 23, Eric Harrison, replaces Nick Dial.
So he and Fay both will start the third period with 2 fouls. And Warrensville Heights could hold it for 1 as across the timeline comes Demetrius Johnson. Joined out top by Brooks and Swift. Johnson going to stand and bounce it near the center circle, middle of the floor. Clock inside of 10. Right side, Swift with 7. Swift against the zone, penetrates, pulls up left side. Brooks out top with 3. Gonna have to launch it. Foul line Johnson, down low, putting it up at the horn and scoring is Rod Wilson. So Warrensville Heights ends the half with a flourish. And Heights has a 8-point lead as we head to the locker room here in Division II. Warrensville Heights will have the basketball. Willard really got off to a great start. They scored the first 5 points, and the biggest lead for Willard in the half came near the 3-minute mark when they led it by 5 at 14-9. But it was 16-15 Willard at the end of 1, and pretty much Warrensville Heights took over after that. Is after being tied up at 16 all. Heights went on a big run, and their biggest lead came at the 3:30 mark when they led it by 14 at 32-18. They start the second half with Demetrius Johnson penetrating, puts it up on the run, scores, but wave it off. Offensive foul on Demetrius Johnson. Johnson had a very good first half, along with 9 points. He had 7 rebounds to lead everybody, and also had 5 assists. So the 6'4" sophomore is playing a lot older than his years. Lower into the forecourt for Willard. Out top guarded by Yancey. Lower picked up the dribble, needs help. Dials comes and gets it. Dials guarded by Swift. Dribbles by him, spins to the foul line, shoots underneath him, put up the shot, back to the rim, and he got a clean bounce off the glass. And Dials' first hoop of the third quarter cuts it to 6, and quickly down the floor we go. Yancey inside, shot blocked and bounced off the underside of the rim to Dials, who pulls up for a left wing 3 and buries it. Just like they started the ball game, Willard gets the first 5 points, and they cut the lead quickly to 3 at 37-34.
Another great start for Willard. Greg Nossman must really charge him up when they head out to the floor.
Willard was down 8 at the half, but when you consider that Derek Fay and Nick Dials were a combined 3 of 13 from the floor, they had to be fortunate to be just that close.
And they didn't play a lot. Both had foul trouble in the first half.
Swift out top basketball for Warrensville Heights. Penetrates, slashes into the lane. Left-hand shot left it short. Fay out of the pack, lead pass to Dials. 2-on-1. Dials right wing 3. Got it again. And Dials has come out on fire. And just like that, 8 in a row, and we're tied up at 37 all.
Nick Dials is a guy that can electrify, but Derek Fay started that by ripping the rebound and getting out quickly.
So we'll see if Heights can counter with J.K. Brooks, right wing 3. Good. J.K. Brooks silenced the Willard folks. 40-37 is the lead for Willard.
Brooks is another guy that can shoot it, and that was from deep.
Brooks now has 9 in the ball game. Out top, Lohr. Lohr again picks up the dribble high. Left side bounce to Ditz. Ditz flips it inside, posted up his Fay, turns to the middle and travels with the basketball. Kind of got stuck on Lee Johnson's hip. And if they weren't going to call a foul on Johnson, they had to call the walk and the turnover on Willard.
Yeah, that time Fay trying to force it a little bit. Don't think the shot was there. It was well defensed, and tried to make a couple too many moves to the inside.
Swift out top. Basketball for Warrensville Heights. 5:50 third quarter. Heights up 3. Yancey flips it off to Johnson. Left wing Yancey. Penetrates by Fay. Got a screen. Went hard to the basket and scored. Good job by Richard Yancey. Yancey puts it up and in and bumps the lead back to 5 at 42-37. Lower out top with a basketball, spins top of the key, right side, long three by Dials, and he hit it from way outside. That was 22 feet. Dials has 23 points and 42-40.
And he knew that one too. He started walking away.
Left sideline Yancey. Flipped it now to the baseline. Left there Johnson. Dribbles by Fay. Puts it up on the run. Glass missed it. Fay the rebound. Fay covered up looking. Dribbles out of the pack to Lohr. Willard can tie or lead this trip. Lohr into the forecourt, guarded by Yancey to Dials. Dials on the right wing has had the hot hand. Fay comes and gets it. Left side Ditz. Ditz out top to Lohr. He penetrates. Left side bounce. Dropped it down low to Dials. Pump fake. Put it up. Had it blocked outside. Good block by Demetrius Johnson. Triggering the break to Swift. Right wing Brooks another three, and that's good. J.K. Brooks has 12. 2 threes here in the period. And 5-point lead for Warrensville Heights.
And Warrensville Heights has had an answer for every charge so far for Willard. See what happens as we go along.
Whistle off the ball and a foul called, I believe, on Brooks. Trying to avoid a screen down low. They're going to say he committed the shove, so Brooks will pick up his second personal.
Second team foul.
And Willard will trigger on the baseline right of their basket. 4:30 third quarter. 45-40 Warrensville Heights. The winner gets Kettering Alter Saturday afternoon at 2. Inbounds out top Lohr. Lohr on the left side around a screen. Dials left wing three. This one is no good. Rebound Strands put it up and had it blocked out of bounds. Demetrius Johnson with another block. And it'll stay with Willard. 4:22 in the third.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson, a guy that has 3 blocks in the game right now.
Very quick off his feet. Inbounds pass Strands. The Lohr. Right sideline Dials. Dials gives it off to Fay, right of the key. His fall away off the glass rim, missed it. Rebound kicked out of bounds and a foul on Heights. So Willard has had a lot of opportunities on this possession. And they'll get another one. The foul on J.K. Brooks. He becomes the first Heights player with 3 and might have to leave the ball game. And Brooks is a guy who has 2 3-pointers here in the period, but he'll leave with his third foul. He'll leave with 12 points, and checking in is Tony Worrell.
The difference on the boards is becoming more pronounced. Willard now with an 8-rebound advantage and 3 straight offensive rebounds.
Inbounding, looking is Ditz, looking, finally bounces into Strands off his knee and out of bounds and a turnover. So Warrensville Heights will get it back. A successful season by these two teams while we're here tonight in tournament action. Congratulations coming from Maybaugh, Ford, and Wood. Johnson on the right wing, gets a screen, pick and roll, threw it off the wall, knocked away, stolen by Dials. Dials into the forecourt, lead pass to Lohr, laid it up and good. Dials able to control the ball on the sideline, got the assist to Lohr, and it's a 3-point Heights lead. 3:45 to play, third quarter. Swift on the left sideline, Yancey. They play pitch and catch. Now right wing Johnson, back to Swift. Swift puts it on the floor, gets a screen. Left side, open from the wing, Yancey. His jump shot in and out, rebound, follow-up is good by Lee Johnson. Johnson grabbed it in the air and stuck it back home all in one motion. 47-42 Heights.
That's just athleticism and a great job of doing it that time by Johnson.
Out top Lohr, behind the back dribble, dribbling it off his foot just across the timeline. Dials comes to help him out. He goes to the floor and gets tied up by Yancey.
Jump ball controlled by Willard.
Once again, Lohr kind of picking up the dribble high on
Willard
the floor.
substitution, number 22.
That time, Willard lucky to get the basketball back
Stevens.
because the possession arrow will keep it on their side of the floor with 3:13 to play in the third.
And Lohr, the junior, has had some trouble handling the basketball tonight. Warrensville Heights being very aggressive in their pressure. He's had some difficulties with it.
Whistle off the ball before the inbounds. And what's this going to be? Evidently a foul on Warrensville Heights. They're going to get Richard Yancey with a holding call.
Yeah, he's guarding Nick Dials. He's been the guy that's been saddled with that job tonight, and that's three fouls on him. And Dials has that tendency to get fouls called on players.
Fay one-on-one on Lee Johnson, dribbles right by him and is fouled on the drive. So some fouls starting to add up. Heights now has 5 team fouls here in the third quarter. Willard has yet to pick one up.
Number 21,
Lee Johnson will pick up his third personal.
Yeah, Yancey and Johnson were the 2 that had 2 at halftime, and they each pick up 1 here early in the third. We talked about the fact that Warrensville Heights not real deep. They have some guys that come in, but as far as scoring, just about all but 2 points a game of their scoring comes from their starters. So when they go to the bench, they lose some offensive punch.
Sitting down, Lee Johnson. Rod Wilson checks back in. Dials the trigger on the inbounds, lobbing into Fay. Middle of the key, puts up the shot. Rim glass, good and foul. So Derek Fay had a tough state semifinal to this point. Finally breaks free with a hoop. And for Fay, he'll get to the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play.
Almost most of the time.
So Fay, 64% shooter, lying right, puts a shot in the air and in a basket. Fay's three-point play makes it a 2-point Warrensville Heights lead with 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Willard back to the 1-3-1 zone. Lower out top and down on the bottom of that zone is Heath Stevens. Swift between the circles for Heights. Puts it between the legs. Crossover dribble to the foul line. Jump shot is up short. Rebound put back up and good. Tony Worrell followed it up. And for Well, his first points of the night. 49-45.
Great awareness of where the ball is at by Worrell. Didn't just go blindly to the boards, look for the basketball.
Lower dribbles on the right wing, flips off there. Strands his lob pass down low, intercepted by Wilson. Off to Swift. Swift into the forecourt, right wing bounce Johnson. Pump fake, out top to Swift. Penetrates, right wing back to Johnson, firing a three off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound tipped into the corner, controlled there by Wilson. And he had his pass stolen. Lower, the other way into the forecourt, being chased down from behind. Lost the dribble, but it went to Fay. Fay, left wing, back to Lower, spotting for three. Rim, glass rim, missed it. Rebound Swift. He'll run the other way with 2 minutes to play in the third. Right wing bounce pass, intercepted by Lord. Lead pass, Stevens out of the pack, has an easy one, and lays it up and scores. Heath Stevens, his second basket, he's got 4, 49-47.
Really wish the pace of this game would pick up, but I'm starting to fall asleep here.
Isn't that amazing? And fans, really for the first time today, the neutral fans, I think, are starting to get into this one just a little bit. As Heights comes into the forecourt, takes a little bit of air out of the basketball with the zone as they slow things down just for a moment. Right sideline, Yancey and Swift play catch. Out top, Demetrius Johnson. 1:25 in the third quarter. Johnson with a stationary dribble, now on the left wing. Looking at that zone. Still kind of dribbling high on the left side, works his way to the wing. Lost the basketball on the dribble, got it back near the top of the key, and a timeout is called.
Timeout.
Warrensville Heights will call for the time with 1:11 to play in the third quarter. We'll take a break. Heights leads Willard by 2 at 49-47.
Paid attendant. Substitutions for Warrensville Heights. Number 11, J.K. Brooks replaces Tony Worrell.
After the Warrensville Heights timeout, they will have the basketball in the forecourt. 1:11 to play here in the third quarter. Heights has seen an 8-point lead, trimmed down now to 2. Willard had tied it up early here in this third quarter when they scored the first 8 points, but Heights put it back at 5, and it's 2 now.
Well, good shooting by Willard has brought it here. 7 of 12 shots here in the fourth quarter they've made, whereas they went one stretch, hit 1 of 11 shots earlier in the game.
Swift, foul line pass, Yancey. Out top, Brooks back in for a 3. This one he missed. Rebound tipped up, hit good on a great follow by Rod Wilson, who hit the deck after he tipped it in. Wilson has 4. It's a 4-point lead with 50 seconds. Dials to the forecourt, one-on-one out high as Willard spreads the floor. Fay to his right, to his left is Barrison. Dials flips to Barrison, who dribbles to the center of the floor to Fay. Fay now avoids the double team, dribbles, top of the key, back to Barrison with 30 seconds. Barrison dribbles right down the lane, dropped it off to Sanders. Sanders looking, bounce to Dials. Dials the basketball, penetrates, lost it on the dribble, but got it back near the foul line. Needs help, spins right side, open Strands. Left wing Fay, gonna pump a 3, got it! Drew Fay finally hits from the outside. Fay's first 3 of the night gives him 9. His second 3 of the night gives him 9, and it's a 1-point lead for Warrensville Heights.
Good patience, work for a good shot, and they finally got it.
For Fay, 1-3 in the first half on 1 of 5, but he's 1 of 2 here in the second. Left wing Brooks, an NBA 3 is way off the mark at the horn to end the third quarter. So 1 quarter of basketball to go. Should be exciting down the stretch. Warrensville Heights 51, Willard 50.
Substitutions for Warrensville Heights. Number 21, Lee Johnson replaces Roderick Wilson. And for Willard, number 15, Dan Lower replacing.
Quarter for Willard, including 4 made threes. 3 of those were by Nick Dials. He now has 23.
It'll be Heights basketball out top, Demetrius Johnson. Johnson drops it off above the foul line to Yancey. Left wing Swift firing inside the arc and burying the jump shot. Brian Swift gives his team a 3-point lead in the opening seconds of the third quarter. Lower bump by Swift in the backcourt. Swift has caused him nightmares all night on that press. Left sideline Dials. Dials looking, drops it down low to Fay, had it tipped away from behind and stolen. Out of the pack, Lee Johnson, the basketball and the steal, and a foul on Willard. And it's 1-1 time. Excuse me, not 1-1 time, just the first foul is what I meant to say. Team fouls are 6-0, now 6-1. It's a first Willard foul here in the second half.
Well, they had some foul trouble in the first half we talked about. Fay and Dials both had to sit for a while. So good thing for Greg Nosselman, they haven't been in foul trouble here in the second.
Right sideline, Swift double team to Yancey. Baseline, Brooks fakes a three, penetrates on the run and travel. Brooks dribbled his way through 2 defenders and little hop skip to get through. Turnover on Warrensville Heights is their 11th. So we mentioned this is an explosive team. Heights averaging around 85 a ball game. They've been held under 70 just 3 times all year. In the backcourt, Strands to Lohr. Lohr looks to the bench across the timeline. Left-hand dribble, center of the floor. Angles to the right wing to the baseline. Double team. They knocked it away, but Brooks couldn't save it as he dove near the corner, and the ball went over the end line and out of bounds. It'll stay with Willard. Nearly 1 minute into the fourth quarter, 7:03 to play. Warrensville Heights by 3. Right wing Ditz. Ditz looking down low. Dials trying to post up Yancey. They can't get him the basketball. Out top is Lohr. I think Dials got a contact problem or something as he got hit in the eye off the ball, and referees are going to stop it. Dials pointing to his eye, and I think that's what it was. Got bumped in the eye, might have lost a contact with 6:51 to play. I want to let you know that you can purchase your official videotape of the semifinals and finals here in Columbus of the 2001 State Boys Basketball Championship, coming from Films One Video Productions, authorized vendor for the Ohio High School Athletic Association. To order 614, and the number is 834-5393, or you can visit the Ohio High School Athletic Association website. That's ohsaa.org. So Dials got the problem with the contact corrected. Inbounds to Fay, a long 3 out top, and 22 feet top of the key, and we're tied up with 6:40 to play. It's 53 all.
Fay now hits double figures. He has 12 and has hit 3 threes for the game. Actually 4 3-point plays. The other was a conventional.
Swift around the screen, top of the key to the left sideline. Brooks back to Swift. He'll pump up a deep 3, and that's good. 1-3 fires the other. So Swift, having himself a nice night, now has 15 points.
Another answer. Every time Willard has had a big play, it's the Tigers that have come back with an answer. 2 threes in the third quarter by J.K. Brooks. Now 1 here in the fourth by Swift.
Swift commits a quick foul in the backcourt, trying to knock it away from Lohr. Team foul 7, so we'll walk to the right side, and 1-1 time now for Dan Lohr and Willard, with 6:15 left in this ball game.
Yeah, you're right, 6:15 now. For the last, 6+ minutes of this game, we're going to have free throws for Willard. A very good free throw shooting team.
Lohr free throw is up and good. Knocked it home. At least runner by, cars, trucks, or vans. Second by Lohr is also good. Willard, good free throw shooting team, and they've been that way tonight. Trails it by a point. Heights has had the lead ever since the opening stages of the second quarter. We've been tied a couple of times, 3 since then, but no Willard leads. Right sideline, Swift picked up the dribble, needs help, and threw it between the circles to Johnson. That's Demetrius Johnson, back to Swift. Swift on a penetration, blows right by 3 guys, bounced it off of Fay, who stole it. Lead pass to Dials. 1-on-2, he goes on Johnson to the basket and got fouled. So we said Dials will take it inside on anybody. Johnson got the block, but also got the hammer. Nick Dials to the foul line. And if he could hit 2 free throws, Willard would have their first lead since the end of the first quarter.
Demetrius Johnson now with 3 fouls. So we have J.K. Brooks, Demetrius Johnson, Yancey, and Lee Johnson, all with 3 fouls now for Warrensville Heights.
6'1" sophomore Nick Dials has 23. He is 7 out of 8 from the line. Shot is up and good. Tie it up one more time, 5:45 left. Dials came in averaging 22 a game, plus 5 assists. 87% foul shooter. Shot is up, good. Nothing but net, and Willard leads. 5:45 left, 57-56 flashes. See what we have the answer now for Warrensville Heights. High on the left side against the 1-3-1 zone. Johnson on the right wing, bounce pass to Swift. Swift dribbles his way through a double team and traveled. Kind of lost the dribble a little bit. In order to straighten himself out, he turned it over. 13th turnover of the ball game on Warrensville Heights.
Yeah, the defense has been turned up a notch here as well for Warrensville Heights. They've gotten the ball to their two main guys here in the second half offensively. Defensively getting the job done too.
Lower to the forecourt by the double team. Right wing Fay, another three off the front of the rim, no good. Swift rebound, outlet pass to Brooks, and Brooks can cruise in himself and lay it up and good. Nobody got back defensively on the rotation. Brooks gives Heights the lead, 58-57.
Well, the guy that was deep was Fay, and he went after the rebound, and once he committed to the rebound, there was nobody back.
Lower the other way for Willard. Lower works his way to the right side to Dials. Around the screen, top of the key. Dials one-on-one on Yancey. Yo-yo dribble, spins, foul line, into the lane, puts up the leaner, rim, glass, and it fell in. Dials makes it 59-58. Willard, 4:45 to play.
Kid cannot be a sophomore. Just can't be.
27 for him tonight. Back the other way we go. Out top, long NBA three. That's Brooks, and he buried it. J.K. Brooks, another deep three. And 2-point lead for Heights. Left sideline timeout called by Willard. We'll take the break. 4 minutes and 22 seconds to play. Warrensville Heights 61, Willard 59.
Championship tickets for the winning team will be on sale in the auxiliary.
Willard has 2 timeouts remaining. They have the basketball, trailing it by 2 with 4:22 to play here in the state semifinal of Division II. Dan Lohr out top, left sideline to Ditz. Ditz to the baseline, left Fay. Quickly, Demetrius Johnson shows on him. Back to Lohr, left wing. Dials pumping up a three, back of the rim. This one's no good. Rebound controlled down low by Willard. Out of the pack, Ditz, and he threw it away into the arms of Yancey. Yancey running into the forecourt after the steal for Heights. Left side, Johnson out top to Brooks. J.K. Brooks has 17 tonight, including 3 threes, and his 3 a moment ago has given Heights the lead. He penetrates down low, good pass inside. Flipped it back to the wing. Swift on the leaner from 15, and he knocked it down. Ryan Swift also with 17. A 4-point Heights lead with 3:40 to play.
Heights has connected on 5 straight shots here in the fourth quarter.
Lohr gets by Swift, who falls down to the forecourt. Fay left wing, a quick 3, and he drilled it. Line drive 3 for Drew Fay. And it's 63-62 Warrensville Heights.
Fay now with 15 for 3-pointers and also a conventional 3-point play.
Fay's got 12 of his 15 here in the second half. Swift penetrates on the run, pulls up in the middle of the key, and hits the jump shot. 19 for Swift. Again, 3-point lead for Warrensville Heights with 3:10 to play. Tigers want the opportunity to defend their state championship Saturday. Willard trying to win their first game in their 4th appearance here in Columbus. Right sideline, Lohr. Lohr, right wing, Dials fell down as he stumbled around the screen, and the ball bounces off his hand and out of bounds. The pass came as Dials made his cut. Lohr wasn't able to hold up on the pass when Dials went to the deck, and a turnover on Willard.
13th turnover of the game now for Willard, and the 3rd here in the fourth quarter. This is like a heavyweight bout, though. These two teams going at each other, giving one big blow after another. A turnover, though, there for Willard.
2:45 to play. Little half-court trap set up by Willard. Right sideline, Demetrius Johnson lost the basketball. Rolling into the corner and controlled by Willard. Ditz comes out of there with a steal. Flipped it off to Dials. Knocked out of bounds by Johnson, but it'll stay with Willard. 2:37 to play. Warrensville Heights with a 3-point lead.
That's a nice job against the half-court trap there by the Tigers, looking down deep. I don't think anybody expected the ball to go there, but the Tigers turn it back over, and here comes Willard.
Into the forecourt, Lohr up the right side, line of the wing to Ditz. Fay's posted down low, but he doesn't get the ball. Dials does out top. Bounce pass into Fay, turning to the right, put it up and scored off the ball. Boy, Fay has played well here in the second half. Again, a 1-point lead for Heights with the ball with 2:10 to play. Left wing Brooks. Brooks crossover dribble to the wing. Spins on Lohr, puts it up, glass rim, and good. J.K. Brooks with 19. The lead back to 3. 2 minutes to go.
7 straight made shots. They're 7 for 7 here in the fourth quarter.
Lohr to the left wing. Guarded by Swift. Bounce pass baseline. Stolen by Brooks, but he's standing on the sideline as he tries to call timeout. Great quickness by Brooks, who had the ball but was going out of bounds and tried to call time, but his foot hit the chalk.
Greg Nosman.
Or in this case, paint.
Exactly, yeah. Greg Nosman right in the face of Willard, trying to control some of the passes they're throwing.
Out top, Lohr to the right wing, around the screen Dials, but he's covered up, so the bounce goes into the middle of the paint. Phase turnaround jump shot is no good. Rebound, Ditz back up, no good. Rebound controlled by Heights. Out of the pack on the run into the forecourt, Johnson. Left wing, Swift. Swift double team deep in the left corner, has to call a timeout. So Warrensville Heights will burn a timeout, and we will as well. 1:35 to play in the ball game. Warrensville Heights 67, Willard 64.
For the winning team, we on the auxiliary gym located at the southwest corner of the Shop Speed Center immediately following the conclusion of this game.
After the timeout, it will be Warrensville Heights basketball. 1:35 to play. Interesting when you look at the board, Roman. One number that jumps out at you is team fouls in this one.
Well, yeah, you look at the thing, only 1 foul still for Willard in this contest in the second half. So if Warrensville Heights still has the lead, they're going to have to pick up some fouls quickly to put them at the line.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So also gives Willard maybe the opportunity to gamble here in the half-court set if they want, try and get some steals, knowing that if they commit the foul, it won't hurt. Willard, Dials has 2 fouls. Bay's got 3, and there's a quick foul. And Greg Nosman also noticed that out top. So the foul there on Lohr.
His second team foul.
So we'll see if they just actually waste them to kill the clock or actually try and go for a steal. Inbounds to Swift. Swift closely guarded by Lohr. Bodies up on him. And a whistle and a reach-in foul again. So Lohr picks up fouls 2 and 3 in just a few seconds. Now 3 team fouls on Willard.
The problem is you can't have Lohr picking up all the fouls. He's going to have 3. You kind of want to shut him off for a while and see if you can get some on some other guys.
A lot of numbers in this one, very close statistically speaking, and as is the score. Under a minute and a half, Fay knocked away the pass, but it went right to Demetrius Johnson between the circles. Double team on the left sideline, and another foul on Lohr. So he picks up his 4th and also cracked his face as he went into the shoulder of Brooks. Team foul 4 on Willard. 1:19 to play. Inbounding again, Heights near the hash mark on the right sideline. Flipping in will be Johnson. Looking. Flips it into Swift. Lohr doesn't want to commit his foul now, so out comes Strains. Left sideline, Ditz checks Brooks. Brooks bounces high. Knocked it to Swift. Swift down low on the left side. Drop pass goes inside to Johnson, and he scores in his foul. Great looking passing. Lee Johnson to Demetrius Johnson. The basket and the foul with 1:04 to play. And it's back to a 5-point Warrensville Heights.
Yeah, the foul situation really kind of messed up Willard's strategy here, I think, because they had to come out, give up an easy bucket there. Otherwise, you can sit back and see if your defense can run its course, but you had to put them at the line.
Johnson has 11. Free throw up, and no good. He missed it. Here comes Willard. 1 minute to play, trailing it 69-64. Dials into the forecourt, gets a screen to the right wing, pull up, stop and pop 3 short. Rebound down low, controlled by Ditz. Back to Lohr, his 3-pointer is blocked. Rebound kicked all the way across the floor, controlled by Warrensville Heights. In the backcourt, Brooks, and a whistle and a foul on Willard. That foul is going to be on Nick Strains. Still not shooting. Team foul number 6. So the next one will put Heights on the line with 45 seconds to play. Eric Barrison checks into the lineup, replacing Lohr for Willard. And now they're going to say Barrison cannot check in. Evidently did not get to the table in time. So they send him back to the scorer's table.
I think they said his jersey wasn't tucked in.
Well, he fixed that, and they're still not going to let him in. Regardless, he'll have to wait till the next whistle.
So you really can't have Lohr picking up or you don't want Lohr to pick up any fouls because he's already got 4.
Heights the trigger in the backcourt to Brooks. Bounce it off to Swift, and he's fouled by Dimes. So there's the 1-and-1. It comes with 43 seconds to go. If Heights wants to play Saturday, they'll have to hang on to the basketball and hit some free throws down the stretch in this one. Heights has been good from the line thus far. They've hit 9 of 12 as a team.
I don't know what the record is for clutch situations in a fourth quarter of a game down here in Columbus. But Warrensville Heights is 7 of 7. Actually 8 of 8 in the fourth quarter from the field.
Some of those big shots. Brooks and Swift, to name a few. Front end of the 1-to-1 is no good, however. Rebound controlled by Fay. Swift missed it. Dials has the basketball. 35 seconds to play. Willard down 5. Dials into the forecourt, right wing. Basketball dits. Back to Dials for 3 out top, front of the rim. No good. Rebound hits the deck. Lee Johnson can't save it across the end line, so Willard will keep it with 27 seconds to play. Still down 5.
Good look if you're Willard. I think that's the shot you want. Dials out front, didn't have really anybody on him.
Dials inbounds to Fay on the right wing. Out to Barrison. Dials around a screen right side, gets the basketball, pump fake to Fay. Fay's going to take a 3 with a man in his face, an air ball. Rebound down low by Heights and a foul on Willard. So that time, not a good look as Lee Johnson right in Fay's face. And still another 1-and-1 with 17 seconds to go. Time ticking away on Willard. Heights trying to stay alive and defend the title. Municipal bond.
Demetrius Johnson at the line, shooting 1 and bonus.
From his teammates at 6'4", just a sophomore. Had a great sophomore year, a 23-point-a-game scorer. Has 12 in this one. Second free throw, front of the rim, and no good, fell off. 15 seconds to play. Willard basketball down 6. Dials being trapped into the forecourt. Left wing Fay fires the NBA 3. Missed it off the rim. Dials the rebound on the right sideline. He'll pump up a 3. That's no good. We're inside 5 seconds. Willard gets another rebound. Dials puts it up and scores at the buzzer. But it's Warrensville Heights that pretty much leads throughout and survives a late run from Willard. And Heights advances to 25-1 on the season with a good win here tonight over Willard and a final score of 70-66.
Championship tickets for Warrensville Heights. They are on sale in the auxiliary gym located in the southwest corner of the Schottenstein Center. Ticket holders must exit the arena and enter the auxiliary gym through the south entrance. You will need to show your school stamp ticket stub to purchase a ticket to the final.